Yes, gentlemen, that's what you get when you let your heart win.
Nah, you can say the same thing but make it better. I mean,
Yeah, dude, say it better.
Welcome
To Leakcast. Let's go.
in trivia.
Immediately. Without delay. Hello and welcome to Leakcast episode 186. It's the 22nd of July. My name is Christopher Puner, and with me this week I'm joined by an Alex Henderson.
hi.
A Aiden Frost Rock Arts.
Hey.
And Nick the King Cooper is not here this week. He's had kind of a long week, so he's sitting this one out. But we'll take care of the emails and all that stuff. So don't worry about it. If you send us emails for this episode, still gonna happen. But just Mr. Nick he's taking a little pit stop this time, so he'll be fresh and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for our stuff in the future. So yeah, it's just the three of us this week, kind of a smaller group, which is fine. I mean, we've done 3-man casts. We've done 2-man casts in the past.
Have we done a main show with only 2 people?
I think we have done in the past. This might have been a long time ago. We might be talking about the era when we still had seasons, to be completely honest.
Yeah, 'cause I remember canceling shows a lot, because it's like, oh, there's 2 of us here. And the other 4 people that are on the show haven't responded to anything we've sent them in the past hour and a half.
Yeah, that was when we were all like in college and everybody was super busy and scheduling was incredibly tight. Back in the golden age of podcasting when it was impossible.
Back before half of us had steady 9-to-5 jobs and the other half of us are working like random shifts that just seem to pop up and disappear during the week.
Mine's not random shifts, it's just still weird ass hours, 3 to close, 4 to close, midnight, 1 o'clock. Oh boy. Anyway, I guess that's a great segue into talking about our weeks, since we started talking about our jobs and not even League of Legends at all.
Dude,
Mr.
right.
Henderson, other than your 9 to 5, what sort of League of Legends related things have you been up to this past
I
week?
lose so many games.
I'm so sorry.
So many games.
I'm
at
so
like
sorry.
a friggin' 45% win rate in ranked and in normals. It's nasty.
Okay.
It's not getting any better. I did, however, I've been getting really, really good at Draven and Caitlyn recently.
Okay, define really, really good, because that I don't know what to expect out of that. Because you said your win rate
I
was
can
bad,
walk out of
so...
a team fight as Draven with a quadra kill without missing an axe now.
That sounds like Draven to me.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's just like I'm getting good enough at juggling that shit and keeping it all going that it's very, very nice. Just
good
going through all of it. It's really, really weird. I don't know how else to explain it.
I don't think it's weird at all. I'm just proud of you.
Hey.
Well, what about Caitlyn in particular? Have you been getting really good at? Because she's a pretty multifaceted sort of champion. I know she's auto attack based, but there are certain things that you can be like,
auto
oh, I
attacks
really get
feel
this.
so good.
They do. They're very satisfying.
So good. It is. I don't know. That's the reason I like playing her, because it just feels so clean and stable to use her auto attacks nonstop.
Sure.
That I just enjoy taking the time to just sit there and auto attack time after time after time. Then eventually you get good enough at juggling the edge of your range just right so that, you get like, oh, hey, here's an auto attack, and now you can't even do anything about it. Ooh.
So you just stack attack speed so you can chase that high you get from the auto attacks, right?
And
Yep.
Henderson, you gotta think about the E into Q into ult combo. That is literally the only reason I play Caitlyn. That combo is like the best feeling combo in the entire game.
My favorite thing to do is does that bug still exist where you can EQ and then the Q will fire from the position that you started your E at if you time it right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's just so good. It's so clean.
That's
Yeah.
the first half of that combo you were talking about, right? That's implied.
Yeah.
It's her version of Boob Slam, except reverse, and not even close.
It's terrifying.
More like boob slam.
More like Boob Slam. Got him. Ooh, kill him. Anything else? You do any ranks? You just where are you sitting at right now?
I'm still at the bottom of gold 5. I win a
Okay.
game, I lose a game, then I win a game, then I lose a game.
The
then I
Climb
win a
the
game, then I lose a
Challenger, the story of Alex Henderson this season is still alive and well.
No. This season makes me want to repeatedly stab myself.
Have you tried to incite a training montage in which you end up in Diamond at the end of?
I have not yet. That is
Okay.
a good idea, though.
It's the next step, man. Worlds is around the corner. You don't have very much time left. And see, what I just said is the motivation for you. You got to like look up at the sky, open up your eyes,
entirely reasonable.
take in the moonlight, take it in, and then just like get really motivated and be like, I'm not gonna go to work for the next 3 weeks. I'm just gonna play ranked, and I'm gonna get to platinum, motherfucker.
I like having money.
And then you're gonna show up next week and be like, I got demoted to silver 3, and I didn't make any money this week. Anyway, cool. Thank you, Mr. Henderson. Frost. Hey. How's
League of Legends happened.
Yeah. How's that?
So I failed another series to plat 1.
Dude, aren't we all
7.
so good?
Number 7, dude. Failed number 7.
Do you have like a tally mark
impressive.
like on your wall, like a prison, like scratched into
I honestly
brick?
should just scratched, man. But like it's like I win a bunch of games in a row, like 4 or 5 games all the way back up to the series, and then I win 1, and then I lose 2 in a row, and I'm like, that was expected, I guess.
Have you considered that maybe this is your peak?
But I win like 5 games in a row before it, so I'm like, I'm going up this time, boys.
I'm not saying it has to make sense, but there's a point in every ranked player's life when you have to think to yourself, maybe this is the ceiling, maybe this is the level I've been destined to meet. How are you gonna break that wall, Frost? What you gonna do different?
I'm just gonna play as many games as I can until I eventually RNG my way into friggin' diamond.
That's how most of us get into gold.
Like I have a 49%
You're not
win rate now.
Perfect.
It's gonna be a climb, dude. Whatever. I've gotten to the point where it's like, what role do I want to play this game? I don't even care. I don't even play my best role every game anymore. It's just whatever. I'll play until I get in series, then I'll try.
Phil, carry me something, please.
It's just like I never jungle, but I've just been playing Vi in rank.
I mean,
Go up.
as frustrating as failing these promo series must be for you, I bet your win percentage is pretty good if you keep consistently winning games outside of the promo series.
Oh, it's like right about 50. I mean, because I lose 2 games in my promo every time, but I get back up right away. So
that's not so bad.
So it's like right around 50. I'm like -4 games total, but I mean, as soon as I get back up into promo, I'll be even again. Like, I'm at 30 points right now. As soon as I win 4 more games, I'll be in promo. So
you hear that, ladies? You beat him down, he gets right back up again, and he's single.
And then for normals though, dude, I'm like, you know what? I need to practice mechanics. So the way I usually practice mechanics is I pick up an AD carry and just play AD carry in normals, right?
Yes.
So I decided that I'm going to become a Vayne main, okay?
Sure, yes, logical.
A couple weeks ago, I talked about me becoming a Fizz main. Gave up on that journey. I played it a couple times and I'm like, this shit's too easy,
I'm never be friends again.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We have an email from somebody that's commending you for your Fizz play. So
yeah, it's fun. It's fun, but holy shit, is it just like it's just boring. You go like 22.
You feel bad.
Game.
It's like playing Zulok. It's boring.
I literally lost
I'll
a game yesterday because we had somebody go top lane AD Fizz against Quinn and Teemo. So he literally couldn't do anything the entire game.
It was a 1v2 against a Quinn and a Teemo?
No, he was playing AD Fizz against a team that had Quinn, Teemo, Zed.
Oh,
there was at least 2. Everybody on their team was extremely squishy, but he went AD against a team that had the only 2 blinds in the game. So he literally did nothing that entire game.
And then just like dive in, do nothing, and then stand on your pole, and like Zed and Teemo and Quinn are just like sitting at the bottom staring up like, you gotta come down, mate.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Cool. Anything else?
So I'm like Vayne main time, right?
Right.
So I played 16 games of her. So
oh jeez, you weren't joking.
She's the best AD carry in the fucking game. Like holy shit, dude.
Okay.
Like the things you can do with her. My strategy for her is I lose lane no matter what. I don't think I won a single game. I won a single lane. Like I never win lane. But dude, team fight time. If you can get like crazy tumble condemn like stealth plays. You feel like you're insert professional AD carry player here, like
Piglet.
Yeah,
double
any
lift?
AD carry.
I am Gosu.
Xiao Wei Zhao? Wait,
that's later.
That's later.
If we're talking about
Vayne, spoiled it.
I am Gosu would probably be your go-to comparison.
Yeah,
honestly, I think he's the most well-known one.
Well, I mean, if you say Vayne, that's who I think of. It used to be double lift, but not anymore.
No, but I've had like a couple good games. I've had games where I went like. I always die a lot though. Like I'm looking at my best games. It's like I went 19-8, 21-12 sort of thing.
She's a high risk AD carry, man. That's pretty much what you. It's what you get.
And then game of the week, boys. Game of the week. I played
Okay.
Caitlyn. We were playing ranked 5 with some friends. And so I'm like, I'm gonna play Caitlyn. I built. Here's my ending game build, by the way. So I have attack speed boots with home guards, Doran's blade, BF sword, BF sword, BF sword, BF sword.
Oh my god.
I went 11-3, boys.
That's fantastic.
Oh, you're such a bastard.
That's really
Dude,
funny.
I've seen people at like Diamond and like High Plat do that on Draven, where they literally get their like level 1 boot and then they go triple BF sword.
Yeah.
Because like that's all you need for lane. All you need for like lane and mid game is just a ton of damage for your axes, and then
Right.
like they literally just build it, one of them into BT, one of them into Infinity Edge, and one of them into the cleanse item. Like, and I'm like, that is brilliant if you can pull it off, because that is so much damage to face at like 20 minutes into the game, 30 minutes into the game. Yeah, but that was my week, I guess. I mean, I guess we played some of the new Bilgewater stuff. We'll talk about that probably later. I mean,
Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
For myself, I played a minimal amount of League of Legends. I played I didn't get a chance to play with the new Gangplank rework. I was busy all day yesterday and today up until now. There was
impressed from what I've seen.
There was a big Hearthstone thing. I hung out with Nick earlier today before he, zonked out. And he was telling me a little bit about the Bilgewater stuff, about how, I don't want to ruin it. I guess we're going to talk about it. You just said that. But he seemed kind of jazzed about it. Other than that, I mean, I think I played one ranked game, and I think I won from what I recall, but it was a lot of normals with friends and buddies. I don't really recall anything in particular this week. I think just a lot of Tom Kench, to be honest.
He is extremely silly.
He's really fun. I just like.
He's really good.
Him. He is
good.
He is super super good. But on like beyond that, he's just a lot of fun to play. Like there are champions that are good but aren't fun to play. You know what I mean? And he kind of strikes the balance in between, which is. Well, one, because he's new and fresh, and we've been playing this forever, so I suppose I always just have the new champion syndrome. Like, whenever they come out, that's all I want to play for, like, those first 3 weeks. And also, two, he's interesting because...
Zonia's in lane.
Yeah, he falls into the whole Thresh category again. Really high on utility and a really awkward attack range. That you're not really sure what to do with. And so I feel like... You're not really sure what to expect of him in lane, and people that play him differently see a lot of different results. Unlike if you play Caitlyn differently, it's pretty much the same sort of result, regardless. Because she's designed to be played a certain way, you can't really deviate from that. But it's always fun when they throw you curveballs like Tom, because you can build him in a bunch of different ways and still be effective. Not AP, though.
And
We
it's
found that
pronounced
out
Tam.
last week. Tam.
No.
Tam.
That H is in there
Tam.
for a reason,
Tom.
Henderson. It's in there for a reason.
It's like
Yeah,
ma'am.
Tom.
yeah,
It's
so,
like ma'am.
yeah,
Tam.
like the H in Henderson should really be Henderson.
Yeah, it's A-H. Tom.
Yeah, there you go.
Tom.
You got it. No, open wide
Tam.
and accept the T.
Tom.
All right. Anyway,
Tom. It's because we have a fucking Midwest accent, which I'm told this is what a Midwestern accent is.
You know what it's Tom for? Rising News. Let's move on for that.
I hate all of you.
Ha! No, you don't.
You're all terrible people.
Maybe a little bit.
Making
You're
fun
not
of my
wrong.
speech impediment.
I'm sorry. I have it too.
Bullshit.
Frost doesn't.
Fiora's 40 years old now, so that's the end of that. GG.
What?
No. Exactly. So I've been looking. So Fiora's getting a visual update, and all of. Not
She
necessarily.
looks
She's getting a visual update, and
older?
her skills are getting reworked. She looks a lot older than she does with the old. You know what I mean? Like her models just make her look older. To be completely honest, I'm not really sure why.
I'm kind of into it.
You think so?
I'm kind of into it.
I mean, I definitely like the splash art, but
I can't tell if
it's
that's
different.
I can't tell if that's a compliment on their model design, or if that's some sort of commentary on like
It's
what I'm
different.
attracted to.
Oh yeah, no. You need to move to France and find yourself a nice late 30s lady.
No, that's cool, man.
God damn it. Anyway, new kit up on PBE. It's honestly kind of cool. So let's go ahead and talk about that. her new passive, Duelist Dance. So she identifies weak spots or vitals in the defenses of all enemy champions she comes close to. If she manages to attack her enemy's weak spot, she does extra true damage for that attack while gaining a small heal and a short boost of speed. Fiora reveals a new weak spot whenever she attacks one, or when a moderate period of time passes without it being attacked. Now, this description is extremely poor of what the ability actually does.
Yeah.
So I looked at the video of this, and what happens is an enemy champion. So whenever an enemy champion is near, they get a little circle around them, and this little circle has one clearly delineated quarter, I guess.
Yes.
That you're supposed to attack. So if you attack from that angle, it counts as attacking their weak spot. And that gives you the extra heal, true damage, yada yada yada, and that's how that works there.
My one complaint is that these quadrants don't match the length of the lane.
Huh?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
The quarters are like as Simon says. So there's an up left, an up right, a bottom left, and a bottom right. Wait, no, there's not. I'm sorry. It's left, right, up, and down. But the lane angles at which you hang out and fight people is up left, up right, bottom left, bottom right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay, I understand
That's
what you're saying. It's because
to me.
you're saying that just makes it a little weird to fight. Well,
It just makes it seem like it's not designed for this game. It feels weird.
No, it's
But,
fine for mid lane though. If you're in mid lane, then it works fine.
yeah, I don't think
I
that's.
guess.
Yeah, I don't think that's a big issue here because the rest of her skills allow her to reposition really easily. To be honest, So, her Q. She lunges in the target direction before striking a nearby enemy, dealing damage and applying on-hit effects. Lunge prioritizes enemy champions and tries to hit near enemy weak spots. Finally, some of Lunge's cooldown is refreshed when the ability strikes an enemy. So you can use this as something to get away or dash or move around. However, it'll be on a shorter cooldown if you actually hit something with it. And that's the important part there. On hit effects. I'm not sure what it means by prioritizes champion. Because is this okay. So it looks like the way this works is you have a small dash, and at the end of that dash there's a circle for the effect.
Yes.
And it looks like you'll damage the closest thing
You
to
do like
you
a little lunge.
in that effect.
You do a lunge, yeah. But it begs the question of whether or not that's dodgeable, kind of like the Sand Soldier attacks are. I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is. It's hard to say from the video they gave us of that ability, though. I think that might be one we'll have to wait and see her actual kit to know
doesn't
for
make
sure.
doesn't make a lot of sense until there's some hands-on play with it, because the description just as a blanket statement, because we're gonna have to recapitulate this every single time we talk about and move on to a new skill, is that because I watched these videos too and I had the same issue with the descriptions. I'm like, that does not look like what they just said it is, at all.
Yeah.
I get what they're trying to say, but it doesn't do it justice.
Visually, they make perfect sense after you see somebody do it, but these are not easy skills to describe in words.
Yes.
Her W, Riposte. So, Fiora enters a defensive stance, parrying all damage and hard crowd control abilities for a fraction of a second. After she's done parrying, Fiora attacks in a target direction, damaging and briefly slowing the first enemy champion she strikes. If she parries any hard crowd control abilities, Riposte stuns instead of slows. So definitely a useful thing there.
I find the target, the way that it works, kind of confusing though, because I was watching the video and it almost looks like you have to choose your direction that you want to attack back before you activate it.
Oh yeah, it looks like there's kind of an induction timer here as they cast the the thing that's happening, because it's only maybe half to 3/4 of a second that you're actually blocking stuff. But if you hit the thing in that time, that's the difference there. You know what I mean? That's actually supposed to be done in response to something. And that's going to be a huge timing based thing. They really did get the duelist feel down here without making her seem completely friggin' broken.
Much better than her previous kit.
Where it was pretty much just, poke them with your Q until you can melt an entire team with your ult.
Yeah.
Her E. So, she gains increased attack speed on her next 2 basic attacks. The first cannot crit, but it slows her target, and then the second is guaranteed to crit. Definitely suggesting some interesting build paths there.
There was someone was crafting a build path where it's full cooldown reduction on her because it's a 7-second cooldown at max rank. So if with cooldown reduction, you get it down to like 3.5 sort of thing, 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And using an ability that lets you get increased attack speed and a critical strike no matter what, like on 2 hits, you know what I mean? Is going to be crazy if you can activate it every 4 seconds.
Yeah, it's not a small amount of damage.
It's like basically effective crit chance when you're building cooldown reduction as well.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
I'm trying to watch her ultimate right here because I never really understood. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so the ultimate, do you get it?
Yeah, I can see it now. So let's go through the description first. Fiora targets an enemy champion, gaining speed and full knowledge of their vitals. Each time she destroys a weak spot, she deals % max health true damage. If she's able to destroy all 4 weak spots, or if she destroys at least one before her target dies, Fiora creates a large, long-lasting zone under her enemy that heals Fiora and all of her allied champions. So the easiest way to say this is one champion gets 4 weak spots in all 4 of the positions around them when she targets this champion. And if you kill them or get all 4 weak spots off, then it creates a huge AoE heal for your team.
Yes. The AoE heal it's like the attack range of Caitlyn. From what I've
it's probably the size of Gen Alt.
Yeah, from what I've seen of the stuff of the scaling with this on PvE, it is technically possible to get over 100% max true damage health if you can get all 4 weak spots. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that fits her kit way better.
Oh yeah. This kit fits the intended theme so well.
Her old ult was literally, she's a duelist, but yeah, her ult hits everyone on the enemy team. It's like, that's not a duelist. What are you doing, Riot? Like, this was brilliant, though. You target one person, and you do a shit ton of damage.
I have a feeling this is going to be a champion that's really, really good at split pushing.
Oh, I mean, she's supposed to. She was designed to be a split. Both. Why not both, huh?
Yeah, honestly. So maybe tank murder or split pusher. Because I have the feeling I get from this kit is she would play very well if you treated her like old style Tryndamere. You know, how all you did was stay top lane the entire game and farm and push that lane as fast as you can. Then you have teleport there so you can get into a fight, in an oh shit situation and hopefully do enough damage to make a difference. And in this one, you teleport in, try to bust a tank when it's happening, and then, move on with your life.
Rest in peace, Season 1 Tryndamere.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's cool. I think that there is definitely a call for this sort of champion. Because split pushers we see in right now, all of them are tanks, and they're extremely difficult to deal with. Because you can't really go send like an AD carry to go deal with it, because then the rest of your lanes can't do objective control as well without the damage, and they can't push, and they're really susceptible to being jumped on. So having the Fiora counters that bruiser meta a little bit, unless people make her into a goddamn bruiser, which I'm hoping she doesn't have the health scaling for that. I'd be really pissed off.
Yeah, no, I feel like this is one of those things where she does this, like, Tryndamere still does that job pretty well. The problem is he has no way to deal with tanks or high-end bruisers, you know what I mean? Yeah. Somebody like Nasus, shut him down, 0 troubles. And that's the thing here. Nasus might be able to shut down Tryndamere. I'm not so sure he's going to be able to do that here when Fiora can nail him hard.
Ooh, baby.
Every couple of seconds. I think faster than his Q cooldown.
Right. I think she's got him pegged for sure.
The thing that's going through my head is like, imagine, for example, you have a team of the enemy team is like Maokai and a bunch of assassins, right? Maokai like engages with Righteous Glory in a 5v5. You ult him, the assassins engage behind him, obviously. So you ult him, you take him down like doing this huge percentage maximum health damage, right? True damage. And then the assassin's already engaged. So now you have this huge AoE heal for your entire team while the rest of their damage is engaging. It's like they're not going to be able to fight that out. Like if you ult a tank with her ult and then you kill them, or you
it can be a huge swing ability. You're right. I didn't really think of that.
If you're fighting in that ultimate, because it's not like it's Jan ult. Like the way I kind of thought of it as Jan ult when I first read the skill or looked at the skill. But you don't have to like channel it. You can still be putting out damage while healing your entire team. So I mean. Like, if they fight in that, it's kind of like fighting in a reverse, like, is there any huge damaging skills that do damage over time? Like, fighting in a Nivea ult. It's like, it's kind of the same equivalent, but instead of doing damage to the enemy team, you're just healing yours for a shit ton. So, I mean...
Yeah, it's similar effect, or overall effect, if you will.
If they fight in it, they're fucked.
Well, I also applaud Riot for making her when they're reworking her like this, making her feel unique.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really reusing things from a different hero. It seems like they're just, and they didn't just tweak her stuff a little bit. Like, she's completely different in this.
They've
rework.
been really good about that lately.
Yeah.
Like, all of the new champions that come out or the reworks come out make them feel different or new.
Except for Misfortune. GP was done really well, but the Misfortune tweaks were good because she was already really solid, so I don't really care about that.
I don't think she was solid before. I don't think she's going to be solid after these. I just
well, you know,
I'm not a professional balancer, but I'm going to throw my opinion out there anyway.
Misfortunate to hear.
I love Misfortune. She's my favorite AD character.
She's pretty good.
She's fun to play. She ain't doing anything interesting.
Need some
soon.
more pirate booty in my life.
I guess. She needs better skins.
Hey.
To keep up with Aurelia, who has the best skins in the game. Frostbutt Aurelia. That's the best skin.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything else about the Fiora rework before we move on?
No, that's all the interesting stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely something to look forward to.
Why don't we talk about the Bilgewater stuff? Because it seems to be the next most interesting thing up there.
Yeah, dude, the next thing on the chopping block, Yarhar.
Yeah, have you done any games with it yet, Chris?
No, I haven't, because it came out. What was it, today or yesterday?
Today.
Yeah, I haven't. Like, this right now was the first time I sat down on my computer all day.
Okay,
oh wait, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. I did play a Tavern Brawl with Frost before. It's like I was here for 10 minutes. I'm like, let's play, fight me in Hearthstone. Then I left. But yeah, no,
fight me, nerd.
It seems great. So tell me I'm right, please.
Okay, so I personally find the announcer voice a little off-putting.
It's Gangplank, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I turned the volume down a bit, and it feels a lot better now. I think the volume was just a little unbalanced for what I was, you know what I mean?
You don't want a drunk, diseased man, like, throwing up words into your mouth, because that's pretty much what Gangplank does.
No, the issue I was having is it just felt... It felt like it was overpowering everything when he would speak. Like, yes. I'd be sitting there, I like all of the voices, and har your mates be feeding the fishes, har something like that.
That's pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was hard to keep track of.
It's hard to make a hearty pirate voice not be overwhelming.
Honestly, I turned the volume down, and it feels a lot better now, and I haven't had issues with it since. So I'm not
boisterous.
Too worried, but
okay.
Before we talk about other stuff, can we talk about like his login screen thing, his music? Like, have you guys listened to his login screen music?
I did. I don't remember it being anything special though.
I'm gonna click on it right now.
It's so thematic. Like, honestly, I was thinking about this a couple days ago. Like, Riot, it's amazing. They make all this great stuff, and then they always have the amount of time to put in to make music, like even that fits every single champion that they do. Like every single piece of music that. Like, it's great, though. It's amazing that, like, even something as simple as music can be so, like, thematic of the champion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just completely feels like a, like, pirate-esque song.
So, have either of you two given a game with Gangplank a shot?
We played against one.
Yeah, we played against one. I wasn't terribly impressed because the barrels weren't doing much damage. They weren't all that terrifying. They weren't easy to place. You know what I mean? Like, they just...
just for those of us that don't remember... What was, like, give us a quick rundown of what the rework did, just like real quick.
His Q and W are the same. His E now places powder kegs that have 3 health. They count down to 1 health if an enemy is in range, and then whoever destroys the barrel, like if it's an enemy, then the barrel does nothing. If it's an ally, the barrel explodes, causing
AoE damage?
Yeah, AoE damage. I mean...
Like a Gragas barrel?
It does a fair bit of damage. Not like a crazy amount, but I mean it's more for
it's not really comparable in damage amounts, but
the big question, does it have AP scaling or not?
Ooh, I don't even know.
I don't know.
If it doesn't, this is a terrible rework and I want nothing to do with it.
I feel like they wouldn't have, right? Like there's no way that they want to promote stuff like that.
Yeah,
right?
that would feel
not
weird.
The Riot I know and love.
No, there's no scaling on it at all.
Wow, fuck that. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be the Debbie Downer this week and say they ruined their chances with this rework.
Yeah, it's just champion damage. It's just scales with level.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fair enough.
Okay, that's not terrible. I don't know. I think this is one of the things. It's gonna be really, really hard to learn that. But his ultimate still seems pretty good because that was seriously screwing shit up. Like his ultimate now has 3 upgrades. and you buy them getting a second kind of currency that you get by farming with Gangplank's Q, I think? So is that how you got the Silver Serpents, yes, no?
Yeah, you just farm with his Q. So you can, like, for example, if you set up a bunch of barrels and you queue the barrels, then you can get a ton of those coins because you can destroy the entire wave. But you have to use your Q in order to kill the minions.
And you buy those upgrades like a Victor Staff or something along those lines, and that would give you the upgrades to the ult that, you know, like what was one of them, like, increases the damage, one of them increases like the wave speed, and then the other one fires a huge like explosion in the middle before the rest of the waves start coming and stuff like that.
And there's the one that gives well, like it so there, yeah, I'll tell you the exact one. So one fires 6 additional waves, one fires the giant bullet before, and then one raises the morale of your teammates. So like when your teammates run through the ult, they get 30% movement speed.
That's right.
Oh,
that's
baller.
the one I was forgetting.
Baller. That's cool. Yeah, so Gangplank, that was a thing. So the rest of the Bilgewater stuff, did you guys do the new map?
Aram?
New skin? The
Yes,
Aram skin?
yes, we did. It looks really pretty, honestly.
Good.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I know
In
I've talked
concept,
about this in the show before,
it looks
but
great.
every time I hear about Riot doing stuff like this, I think, like, you guys could make a truly incredible MMO if you just got your shit together and did something more than just League of Legends. You know what I mean?
I think it'd be cool.
I would totally buy into a Riot MMO. I just want to see a company who makes an MMO that doesn't... I don't know. I can't really think of one that hasn't really fallen apart to some kind of extremely weird thing that it wasn't in the beginning.
We could have.
I think I've heard of World of Warcraft.
I have. World of Warcraft is nothing like vanilla.
I mean, if you
And
want
they
you're
cheapened
right.
it.
You're
They
right.
cheapened it, they simplified it, and they made it... honestly, I think
They made it
their
more
current
mainstream.
character skill system is pathetic in WoW.
Wow. Compared to the intense, like, really detailed skill trees they used to have, I am in agreement. But this is not the time nor the place to discuss MMOs.
That's
Yeah,
true.
seriously, leave that for my show, all right?
Whoa. Who the hell? Who is that? Who just let themselves in our podcasting
Hey, I mean,
basement?
if you're gonna talk about World of Warcraft, I mean, you gotta invite me, all right?
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Matthew Hillman, welcome to the show, Matthew Hillman.
Hey, what is going on, guys?
Hey, you know this is Leecast, not the Hearth, right?
Oh, what the fuck day is it?
He got lost.
Hey, why don't you hang out, man? We'd love to have you.
Oh, yeah, sure, I'll just stay. That's fine.
All right, look, it's Nick Cooper, everybody, except it's not. It's Matthew Hillman. Welcome.
No, I'm not
Welcome
Nick
back.
Cooper. Hello.
We have 4 again. Woo!
We're halfway through news. We just talked about the Bilgewater event. I believe we're moving on, right?
Sure.
Kind
Okay.
of.
I mean, that's...
Okay.
One sec. Well, I
Did
want
I
to say
miss
like
anything
that,
important?
I wanted to say that like it sounds like they want to keep the skin for ARAM, but I think that they should make it so like it's on a rotation with the Howling Abyss skin. I mean, like that would be great
Yeah.
if like
Why not?
like it
Ooh.
looks fucking amazing.
It
Like,
does.
I
You're
did
right.
forget to mention, go take a look at the lore in the promo page, because they posted a neat little story about Twisted Fate, Gangplank, and Graves, and it's definitely a lot of fun to watch or read. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the kind of thing where it's like, if Riot could do this once every like week or two, this would be the kind of thing that I want out of like a lore department. Not like once every year, here's an event where we add maybe 3 pages worth of lore to the books.
I think the level of like cross chatter between the different departments, like art and lore and music and gameplay and stuff, makes it almost impossible to do it that quickly. I'm just happy that what we're getting right now is super high quality.
Okay, so my thing is, what else is the lore department doing?
I don't know. I still think the stack of lore that
Do-
they had
do you
previously is still
understand why I'm
burning.
saying
I
this?
think
Like,
they have
this
to
is the
wait for
kind
that
of-
to go out.
This is the kind of thing that I'd expect from a lore department, because they don't really seem to be doing all that much right now.
Here's the thing. You know, I like to believe. Oh, go ahead, Frost. I'm sorry.
sorry, I was gonna say like I think that releasing it as like lore events is the only proper way for them to release a lore update. I mean, the only other way that they could release a lore update for the entire game would be releasing new lore for the entire game. I mean,
Okay.
like, I think
Right.
in putting in little segments of like, here's the backstory for this faction is like a brilliant way for them to take out little chunks of lore one piece at a time.
And
one of
flush it
those
out, yeah.
once a year, though, is a terrible way to do it. We should have gotten the Shurima lore, the Bilgewater lore, the Freljord lore, and that should have been enough information to fit within a 1 month period. Because nothing, like, so little happened in each of these events. And, like, I know for a fact I'm not being unrealistic here, because think of Magic the Gathering, because that thing has a fucking huge universe. They've got incredible, like, amounts of cards and background, and it's extremely difficult to tie all that together, and yet, they do.
Well,
Once a week, they have an article come out that's about a page and a half, 2 pages of text about the lore of their game.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's, just something random in the middle of nowhere. Others, it's they're setting up the next set or whatever's happening next. Like for the past 3 weeks, they've been doing stories about what's going to happen in the next set of Magic. Like, they're preparing for it. Like, all their characters are getting together and, they're meeting up and they're getting ready to go fight the big bads of the next set. And it's just like, this is super interesting. These are well-written stories. And that's the kind of thing I want to see from there.
Magic's been around. I'm not sure if it's a completely fair comparison. I see what you're saying.
Okay, yeah.
I get what you're saying.
There is the issue where they're like, there's the experience here. Like, I'm not mad because they're not like doing anything yet. I just don't think they've decided on what the best way for them to present lore is yet. And I think this is it. I really do.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do. But I feel like it took a little bit to get here, and the Freljord stuff was kind of like it was a weird sort of monster at the time because they were uprooting a bit of the lore. This is before they were like, we're going to do away with a big chunk of what you guys understand as the main universe. And now they're kind of like picking up the pieces and polishing them off and being like, remember this was interesting, and also this has our new stamp of approval, and now it's canon again. Like, it's canon Bilgewater.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is. It's in a weird place right now. We're in flux in League of Legends lore world. And I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing with it, but they're also going into Worlds right now. Like, I don't know.
I don't expect anything anytime soon, but like, I feel like just having something like Uncharted Realms for Magic, which is the name of that article I was talking about, is really one of the best ways they could go about it. And if they want to do other stuff too, fantastic. But I mean, come on, it can't be more than 1 or maybe 2 people writing all of these articles on Magic. Because it doesn't take that long to proof and to get it approved and all of that. I mean, hey, maybe if you have a rather extensive process to make sure that they're not like overlapping or trying to break your own lore, because Magic's been around for almost 20 years now, so sometimes they accidentally step on their own toes.
Sure, it's huge. It's a huge universe. You have to like eventually like come back around the planet and touch yourself in the back at some point in time. Like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, so, that just happens sometimes there. And that's one of those things where it's like, if they have a pretty extensive process like that to try to avoid stuff, I mean, that's understandable. And, like, they may have, like, 3 or 4 people, rotating articles and, preparing stuff. And, like, they write a lot of flavor text on their cards for there, too, which also expands the story. And, like, there's a lot of interesting stuff there.
Yeah. The only other thing I want to say before we move on from this is, first of all, I 100% agree with you. Secondly, I feel like they do have a lore department. We know this. They're coming out with stuff right now. I feel like they're sitting on some stuff. And I doubt that they're not working. I bet there's a ton of stuff they have in the works and stuff like that. But I also think that Riot is smart enough to know that they have to make sure that they make this stuff last as long as possible. And it has to go hand in hand with a promotional event. A couple of champion reworks, new skins, new map, hype, to make sure that they keep excitement for their game as high as possible for as long as possible. Like, there's a lot of marketing to this that, like, we're not really keen into. Magic the Gathering only really has that. They don't have like the video game experience. There's more to Magic. I mean, they do, but it's a little bit it's different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a little different there, but they actually do a lot of interesting non-canon stories in all of those games they put out too.
Right. I don't think Riot's interested in doing stuff like that. We would be seeing novels if that was the case. Like WoW has novels and Magic has novels, and yeah, we would be seeing those, but we're not right now. Hopefully we end up going that way, because novels are always a really cool way to explore the universe, Yep. But, yeah, well, we'll let Riot do their thing. See what they're going to do.
Yep.
And in keeping with that, my piece of news this week was that there's a big Bilgewater merchandise sale going on. In particular, the things that are on sale are like the minifigures. Graves, Misfortune, Gangplank, Nami, and Nautilus are on sale from $25 to $20. Those little cutie little guys. I have a Nautilus one from friend of the show, Rob, and I love it. I think it's great. I'm not quite sure why Nami is here. I suppose because they were like pirates, boats, water, Nami. I think it's just what they had on their. I think it's just what they had in their store. So if you don't really like Bilgewater, but you like Nami for whatever reason, I mean, God bless you. Go take advantage of this promo. Get what is it, 20% off? Yeah, it's 20% off. And pick one up there. I think they're cute as fuck. I really love the Misfortune one. It's adorable. And the Graves, because he looks like a little kid with a bunch of facial hair on and a gun. It's adorbs. So yeah, go take a look at that stuff. And if you had any trouble finding the merchandise store like we did, it's merch.riotgames.com, or just Google Riot or League of Legends merchandise. They have a really weird like subset store that they have for that. So
it's a little hard to find sometimes.
Or you can go pick up the TF figure. The statue, I guess.
The statue that's out of stock.
Super expensive. Like, even though it's out of stock, there's probably something where you like. I'd be surprised if there wasn't a way to order it, and then they'd just when more get in.
I think you can, because it's technically in pre-order right now, because it's not technically out, but the stock that they have for the pre-orders are now out. So once it gets released, I'm assuming it'll be fine for you to order even when it's out of stock, and they'll just send it to you. It looks sick as fuck.
It's huge. It is massive.
What would you say it was 17 inches? What it was?
17 by 10 inches. Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, it's Twisted Fate. If you're not looking at this and you don't intend to, here's what you're missing out on. It's Twisted Fate looking like fucking Twisted Fate, leaning up against a wall statue with like moss growing on it and shit. It looks almost like a bookend with no response.
It's from like from the Twist of Fate cinematic from Season 2 World.
Yes,
like, that's
it's just like that. And it looks baller.
Yeah. It's $200 on sale though right now. So I mean,
yeah, $200 from $250. So if you feel like saving $50 to spend $200 on a statue, well, first of all, it's out of stock, so poo on you. Secondly, at least go take a look and salivate a little bit like the rest of us did.
But if you like stuff like that, it's probably honestly worth the money. Like, it looks like the quality of it is just amazing. Like, it's beautiful.
But speaking of things that are worth the money, let's talk about things that weren't worth the money, Frost.
Oh.
For your piece of news.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
Okay.
It took me a second.
I wasn't sure if I was missing something.
That segue was so good it went over your head.
No, it really wasn't that good.
Oh, fuck you.
Speaking about stuff that's on sale, can we talk about pro players that are getting banned from competitive? Would have been a better segue.
No, it's not.
Okay. Yeah, so
those bolts suck.
Oh, wow, thanks, man. Thanks, Matt Hillman. Back of the room. Back of the room. You can probably talk a bit about this, Matt, when he talks about
Peanut
it.
Gallery.
Yeah, you're
I
on
heard
LCS
Cali
stuff
Trolls is retiring today.
Yeah, but that's different. He didn't get banned. He's just
leaving.
He's a Canadian med student, so.
Oh, yeah. Wow. And he plays League of Legends professionally? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, dude, he's from Vancouver.
I just think it would be crazy to be in med school and play this game professionally. There's no way.
Shut up.
Yep.
I think you're funny. So anyways, this past week, a couple players got like the ban hammer dropped on them. I'm going to start with one that like I didn't really write down, but I know of and I wanted to talk about. So Forgiven on Gambit Gaming. He got a competitive ruling this past week, and it's pretty cool for him being like very, very toxic in solo queue. I mean, there's a bunch of players in EU that are kind of like known to be toxic players. Like, there's pictures of like certain mid laners saying like, I hope you die of cancer and stuff like that. And solo queue is like, you're gonna get banned for that eventually. But so like the competitive ruling is pretty well like in the last 30 days, he's been reported in over 70% of his games with 92% of the reports being for verbal abuse. So it's pretty cool. Riot like saying everyone should really stop this because we actually will start banning people, and it will really have an effect on not only your team but like just your own competitive like future.
Basically, like your professional well-being at this point in time, because this is what these kids have.
Yeah, it's like these guys are like what, anywhere from like 17 to like 20.
20, 22 maybe.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, I know I was kind of an idiot too when I was fresh out of high school. Like actually responsible for myself the first couple times around. But it's just like, guys, come on. How did you possibly think this is going to end in anything other than misery for yourself?
Well, I don't think they fully understand what level of like these kids are role models for kids, not only younger than them, but also their age.
Yeah, and it's like,
You know?
You don't see professional, well, you do sometimes, professional, like, football players running around, like, stomping, like, okay, so imagine something like LeBron James playing a pickup game of basketball, just it's a bunch of random people, in the middle of a park somewhere, kicking somebody's shins out and being like, yeah, that's right, you motherfucker, and then not getting banned, or not getting punished by the NBA.
Was he streaming it?
Yes. It was being recorded live by
then
4
that's
people.
dumb.
It was like, cool,
then that's
look, it's LeBron
dumb.
James.
First of all, that wasn't gameplay, so it probably wasn't on Twitch. It must have been on Justin.tv. But who's watching that?
His
It was
PR.
Periscope. They were periscoping it.
Yeah,
No, but like so pretty well the ruling is he's suspended for 4 games, and I mean LCS is like LCS. There's only 2 games left because it's going to week. Is it going to week 8 or week 9?
Week
Pat?
9.
Yeah,
it's
so there's
going
only
to
2
week
games
9.
left, and then you have the first 2 games of the actual playoffs. So I mean, this is really going to hurt Gambit's chances of actually qualifying. I mean,
they didn't really have a good chance of qualifying, did they?
They're in like 6th right now. I mean, like they're right on the cusp of being either
They
in
weren't
relegation.
that bad.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, like they've been on like a hot streak. They've actually been like coming back. So I mean, having him banned at this time is probably the worst time. Like they've just pulled in a new AD carry. They're having Moops play for them, and I mean, I don't know if the other players are going to get banned that have been known to be toxic and stuff like that. I hope not, because I mean, it's really this is just a bad time to do it. I know they want to do it as soon as it happens, but I mean,
Yeah.
Apparently,
holy
they
crap,
were
that just-
informed almost a week and a half ago. So
yeah, they were
What,
informed
a
a
week
week and
ago?
a half ago. Yeah, and they picked up a bunch of subs, but I mean, like, holy crap, that is just bad for the whole organization. I don't know, it's kind of rough.
did you guys read the statement from Gambit about it?
No.
Yeah,
If you
I
get
went
the
over
chance,
it.
go read it because it sounds salty as fuck and it's really funny.
Well, who
They
are they
seem-
mad
yeah.
at? Are they mad at him or are they mad
Riot.
at Riot?
It sounds like they're mad at Riot, but still,
Oh.
Yeah, because
Like,
it's
yeah.
pretty well like just the worst time. They gave them like very little notice, stuff like that. I mean, it's just they're upset about stuff like that, which I can understand because like they're on a hot streak and now they have
Yeah, now
very
they're just
little
kinda
chance of
screwed.
qualifying. Which I mean sucks. Don't pick up players that are toxic or like find a way
or
to actually
punish
like.
them yourself before somebody else gets to them.
Right.
There's no way they
It's
didn't
the
have
Summer's
any
code.
idea.
Right.
It's the Summer's code. You don't break it. Even pro players can't break it. On to the more important thing, though, in my opinion, is the whole Zhao Zhao stuff. So Zhao Zhao is currently suspended pending investigation for ELO boosting. So ELO boosting, once again, is against the Summoner's Code, and it's really not been handled lightly in the past couple of weeks. For example, there was Toys in China. A player on Toys' team, he was the season 2. He was on the season 2. Yeah, he's on TPA. So he's on the season 2 World Championship. On his current team, one of his members of his team, Raisin, was banned from Korea, from the Korean League LCK for ELO boosting. So then they pick him up on Toys' team, and then they find out that he's also banned in China for ELO boosting, even though like they thought it was only an LCK ban, just like the CLG being banned from LCK. So I mean, played the entire split, and then playoffs came, and then he was banned for ELO boosting that he did in 2014. So I mean, Raisin got a 1-year ban from competitive play for ELO boosting. So
Yeah.
the reason I bring this up is because I'm assuming that Zhao Zhao is going to get a 1-year ban for this. I mean, he's been doing it as of recent. There's evidence of it, and which is sad. Like, I really don't want to see a team like TIP, who's like 3rd in NALCS right now, lose one of their star players.
I do.
Yeah,
This is another one of those
shouldn't do
ones
it.
where it's just like, man, how did you not see this coming?
You know what? When we take a step back from shit like this, you know who comes out on top? Riot, because they are doing their absolute best, and they're doing a really good job about this, by making sure that they're keeping all these professional players accountable, and just like grabbing their nutsack and going, we weren't fucking joking. It's not a joke. You guys might be kids and we might be adults, but this isn't a joke.
The reason why like people are so up in arms about this is in season, I guess 2013 would be the end of season 2, right? Or
Yes.
season 3. So they had
Season
a
3.
huge competitive ruling in season 3. You said, or what would you say it was?
3.
in Season 3 of NA and EU players for ELO boosting. Some of the notable players are Don't Mash Me, Afromu, Trooper, Meteos, Nijaki, Rux, Xmithy, and in EU, Cowtard, Nono, and Yellowstar. All these players got a competitive ruling for ELO boosting. They all got a 14-day suspension on their account. So, I mean,
Okay.
why has it changed since then? Like, why are these players who did the exact same offense in Season 3,
Because
they got a 14-day suspension, whereas the players nowadays are getting a 1-year suspension during playoffs?
they were trying to foster the growth of their esports scene in the past, and now they're trying to foster the legitimacy of their esports scene, which is a little bit different. To me, that alone warrants it. Also, when there is a past ruling like this, that was the first time they did it. Like I said, it's the first time they're saying, we're not joking. 14-day ban. And then when Zhao Weizhao does it again, after having previous knowledge of this stuff, like, he's talked to these other players. Like, they know each other. He knows that this happened, and he still did it. It's not like he's going to be surprised when he gets caught. He's like, oh, I didn't know it was wrong. They really want to make an example of now, especially when it's one person instead of, like, half of the recognizable names on their rosters in both North America and EU. Like Yellowstar, if he sits out for a year, EU teams and EU people that like watch EU, you're gonna be like, oh, that sucks. I like him a lot. Zhao Zhao, he's one person on TIP. He's probably replaceable. He's recognizable, but it is just one person. It's a shame, but it's one person. He's primed to be made an example of in this scenario.
Yeah.
You almost gotta wonder, though, like, when does competing in the LCS versus streaming and being a professional booster come into play? For example, the reason I bring this up is there's a player in Korea, Abdo, who's always top 10 on the Korean ladder. He's like one of the best players in the world. Why hasn't he been on a competitive team, being one of the best mid laners in the entire world? Is the fact that he streams, he is the most viewed streamer in all of Korea, and he makes a ton of money from ELO boosting. He makes reportedly of upwards of like $100,000 just from ELO boosting each year.
Sure.
Then he does get all of his streaming money. So, I mean, and they don't really crack down on him. They don't really care. They just know that this guy brings in a lot of attention to League of Legends. So, I mean, if he couldn't get into competitive because he'd be banned. But, I mean, when will players such as like Zhao Zhao be like, I'm just going to stream an ELO boost. They're not obviously cracking down on this guy, so why can't I do that?
Well, I mean, that's their personal professional choice. And when they write this down on their resume in the future, assuming these kids are like, future projecting, right? They're going to choose the path that makes them look like a celebrated professional and not like I broke terms of agreement and use in order to make a lot of money. Like, nobody wants to hire that. That's not a desirable way to be,
Yeah. You gotta, like,
I don't
sorry.
know.
It depends on if they're going for a career in esports, because if you're caught like elo boosting in esports, no employer in any other position is going to give a flying fuck about you getting caught elo boosting while playing esports. You know what I mean?
I don't think you're right. I disagree. I think they would care. Because it basically...
I don't think any of these kids have been thinking that far ahead, honestly. I just don't think any of them... This whole thing is so new that I feel like pretty much everybody is caught up in it, Riot included. And it's become like... For these people that are doing this right now, they've never lived like a normal, like, work a normal job kind of life. And if they have, and it was only for a short time or whatever... then that's fine, but that's the only experience they have. Like, you're not ever going to say, yeah, I worked a 9-to-5 job and then decided to become a professional League of Legends player. I mean, some of them might say that. There might be a few, but most of these kids were in high school, bullshitting around, playing League of Legends for fun, realized they were good at it, and became professional. It wasn't like... They're not thinking that far ahead is what I'm saying. And it kind of ties back into why they're making these mistakes. They're making these mistakes because they don't know any better. They haven't had those experiences to say, well, maybe I shouldn't be doing this because it's against the terms of service and all this other stuff. It's like, well, this is all they know. This is what they've been doing the whole time. I mean, look at players like Dyrus and Reginald and Hotshot and Doublelift. They have done nothing for the past 6 years but this game. Yeah. They've done nothing else. And it's like, okay, they're really, really good at it. That makes sense. But you see the same issue, and I disagree with you, Henderson. You see the same issue with professional sports players, football players and baseball players and all this other shit, they end up doing a lot of this crazy, dumb stuff. And you're like, why would you ever do that? And it's because they don't know any better. They haven't had those real life experiences because they just got caught up in this. And I think that it's starting to get to the point where Riot's saying, okay, we need to crack down on these people if we're going to pay them. And that's what's going to start waking up a lot of these guys. And I don't know, as far as the year ban goes from professional scene, I don't know if that's really necessary. I mean, that's 2 full splits. And that kind of sucks if you don't know anything else, Like, Zhao hasn't done anything else, like, his whole life. So maybe,
well, if anything else, he's just gonna be like, well, fuck it, I guess I'll just elo boost because he has nothing else to do with that year.
Right, yeah. So now he's just gonna be a streamer, and it's like so many people have done that. Chaos did that, and Rain Man, like, it's so easy to make money if you're a big name in this sport. So
yeah.
It's a really interesting thing on Riot's part, but I don't know. I think they're making the right decision to enforce it. I don't know if the enforcement itself is the right decision, but they definitely should be enforcing it on their players.
If I can just step in here, the actual number, the alleged number, there's Skyblogs and stuff, but I mean, who knows? They can all be doctored and stuff like that. But apparently, boosting this guy from, I think it was Diamond 3 to Master 100 LP, Zhao made 1,400 USD. That's almost insane. There's so much of a need. There's so much of a market for boosting for pros and stuff. It's almost like Riot needs to shut that down before they start almost cracking down on players.
How do you de-incentivize that, though?
Yeah, the thing is, you can charge whatever you want as long as people are going to pay it. And people will pay it if you're in the LCS. They see you, they know you're good, so they'll pay it.
Most of the time, they don't know who they're getting. They're just paying for it. And then these sites are being like, okay, this person's super high elo. We pay him a lot of money, then this other person will give us, more money than that. And it's like, the higher their elo is, the more reliable of a boost it is, the faster it'll get done, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there is a good way to do it. Obviously, it's against their terms of service, so they can enforce it whenever they want to. And I think that's the important thing. The fact that an LCS player is doing this and getting money on it, yeah, they shouldn't allow that to happen. As far as the actual punishment, I don't know. But, I don't think that they should allow it to happen.
Okay. But I have a couple of other points, but I'll save them for another time. I'm sure we'll circle back to this at some point in time. We got to move on. It's almost been an hour, and we're not done with. We are done with news. That's the last little bit. But let's move on to this week's champion spotlight, which is on Caitlyn, who we were talking about earlier in the show.
Adagio Summoner.
No, not that one.
Yeah.
It's not Caitlyn.
You want to see a hat trick?
Him for Divinity. Isn't it that one?
Yeah. No, you're right.
Okay, cool.
Skarner.
Yeah.
Is that ringing any bells? All right, cool. All right, so a little bit of backstory about Caitlyn and her lore. She's an interesting character boodle. She's pretty much single-handedly the reason why Piltover doesn't have a crime rate, because there's no crime. That's her thing. She's really big on it. And apparently this harkens back to when she was a child, when she was 14. Her father, she was the daughter of a wealthy pair of parents. She's born to the daughter of a wealthy statesman and a pioneering hextech researcher. That's her mom. Her father gets robbed when she's 14. He gets assaulted and robbed. Then she sneaks out of her house with her dad's rifle. Apparently, the wealthy statesman, not the hex tech engineer, has a rifle. She takes it. She tracks down these muggers from the crime scene using sleuth-like whatever her wherewithal. She MacGyver's, I don't know, Sherlock Holmes. She's attractive. And she then tracks them down, and it doesn't say what she does, but let's just assume that she's a cold-blooded killer and just murders them, turns them inside out, and brings their skin home to her father. This is the type of picture I like to paint myself of Caitlyn, because she's got to be a little crazy, right? So then her parents are like, "Oh, you 14. I don't know if this is such a good idea for you doing this stuff," because she came back from her blood frenzy high, right? She's like, "It was awesome. They screamed. It was fantastic." No, that didn't actually happen. So they're like, "Okay, well, I'm not sure what to do with you. because you seem really set on this, and her father's busy. He's like, look, I got these bruises I got money was taken from me, I got stuff to deal with. And her mom's like, well, honey, look, if you're gonna be out and about like this, being Batgirl and shit, you better be properly equipped. So the specific exact quote is, wishing to protect her daughter in the only way she knew how, Caitlin's mother began outfitting her with technomaturgical devices tailored to her sleuthing needs. I'm not really sure what that means, but somewhere along the way, I'm pretty sure they gave her little Yordle traps, because fuck Yordles, right? Bear traps.
That explains everything.
It just cuts them in half. This is what I'm talking about.
They're all criminals.
She's just every last one of them. Caitlin quickly gained notoriety, is what she's saying, but both because she was single-handedly defeating crime in Piltover, and also because she soon developed into a ravishing beauty. Thanks for painting that picture for me, Riot. I just picture her covered in blood and just like model status attractiveness. So she was also like really good about like never backing down from a challenge or a case, and she was also like really into being super good with her guns, which is why she carries around a sniper rifle, and she's like, one shot, one kill, blah blah blah, generic sniper quotes. So then she was then requested by Demacia to help her track down a mysterious outlaw who would begin committing high-profile heists. The bandit, who always left a card with an ornate C at the scene of the crime, became Caitlin's arch nemesis. To this day, Caitlin still searches for this cat burglar, and the chase has led her all across Valorant. And then she joined the league to hone her skills and gain the influence necessary to track down the only quarry that has managed to evade her. And her quote is, "Go ahead, run. I'll give you a 5-minute head start." And that's from her book, Willing Apprehension. I didn't know she wrote a book. Apparently she writes a book. I can't tell if this whole story is like a setup for like a really good erotic novel, or is a legitimate backstory for Caitlin.
It's difficult to tell sometimes.
Just Rito.
I've decided that we need a
God.
Moxie Caitlin skin, though.
Oh, I would agree.
Was that Caitlin's lore?
Yeah, that was Caitlin's lore.
Irrelevant.
It is pretty
much
relevant.
like the rest of the lore.
Oh,
It just sets her up
okay.
as a sniper. She uses guns because she had guns when she was little.
Pretty much. I also don't understand how along her way, if she grew up and was very attractive, like I get the belts on her legs, right? That fits the whole like bondage motif that we have built in here, right? But I don't understand the top hat. Is that like a fetish thing, or like I don't know?
No, it's a gay thing.
Oh, sure.
I like to think that whenever she goes to like a new area, like the jungle or whatever, she changes outfits to one of her skins. Like she goes to the Arctic, she wears her like parka and stuff. She goes to like the rainforest and she has her headhunter Caitlin gear on.
And when she wants to be taken seriously, she just puts on her best skin, Resistance.
Just
Caitlin.
buy her book. What's her book called again?
Willing Apprehension.
1999.
Frost.
She tells you about all of her journeys.
It's on Audible.
Are you talking about the Caitlin dress-up game on Newgrounds?
Matt Hillman.
No, but
Matt Hillman, welcome
know.
to the show. All right, let's talk about her abilities, and I'm talking about her abilities in game, not her alleged abilities outside of game.
I promise you I don't have anything pulled up. Can I name them all?
Yes, please.
Ooh,
starting with her
okay.
passive.
Passive is headshot.
Okay, what does it do?
Every 7th attack, I think, it gets a proc where it deals bonus damage. I don't know what it's from. Maybe it scales from AD. Maybe it automatically.
It's just 150%.
Yes, and then 250% to a minion.
And it pierces through armor.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. But it charges up faster in a bush. And then her Q is Piltover Peacemaker, which is a line skill shot that deals damage, some sort of damage,
Sure. Scales with AD.
Yeah, and then her W is called Yordle Snap Trap.
Yes.
And it's a trap you put on the ground. It's a cupcake. Whee! And enemy players that step on it are dealt damage over time and snared.
Yep.
I think. Yes, okay. And then her W, I said W already. Her E is the net, 90 caliber net, I believe it's called.
Wow, yeah.
And it pushes Caitlin away from the way she shoots her net, and the net slows enemy champions. The first enemy that it hits, not enemy champions, because it can hit a minion. And then
what does it scale with?
That goes with AP.
It does.
Really
Yeah.
well.
Mage
And,
Caitlyn.
I'm pretty sure her Yordle Snapchat does too.
It does, but not as well.
Yeah, but not as well.
Close.
And then her ultimate is called Ace in the Hole.
Damn.
You target an enemy champion, and after a wind-up, after the channel, you shoot the missile, and it has a travel distance and time. No, it doesn't have a maximum distance, but it has a speed that it travels at, and it can be blocked by other enemy champions.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
that's
was
her
well
kit.
done. I don't know how you remember the name of these things. I just say her net, her trap, and her Q.
Well, Caitlyn's pretty easy because they're all kind of intuitive, and
Piltover Peacemaker is
Piltover-
one I remember because it's just a weird
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
Yordle Snapchat I remember because when she came out, she was the first champion that came out when I started playing, and when she came out, I was always like, "What the hell is that?" And somebody was like, "Oh, it's a trap," and I was like, "Oh, that makes sense." And then when I looked at it, it was a Yordle Snap Trap, and I was like, "That's interesting. Does it work better on Yordles?" And that sort of thing. 90 caliber net. I don't know how I remember that one. I just do.
The 90 part's the weird part. Like, caliber net's not that odd, I guess. I mean, you're firing your net
Yeah.
at them, so I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah. But the passive is easy because it's just headshot, and she
Mhm.
says headshot when you do it, I think. Or sometimes on
yes.
occasion she'll say headshot.
When you do it.
I think it's
Yeah.
a movement command, isn't it?
Possibly.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't know. She uses the word headshot in one of her
One of her voice things.
in-game voice things, yeah.
Cool.
And then Ace in the Hole, I remember from all the times when casters say it in the LCS. And I remember the one in particular where she started channeling at the end of someone's recall, and it went off, and it traveled all the way back to
Wild
the spawn
Turtle
platform
on,
and exploded. It was great.
On Maple Street.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Dude, I know my shit.
But yeah, they were like, "That's the best Ace in the Hole I've ever seen," and it was
That's
crazy. It was awesome.
that was pretty good, dude. I'm impressed.
Thanks.
Henderson, why don't you talk about the role that she fills?
80 carry. Next question.
Can you play her AP?
No.
No.
Well,
Okay,
I mean,
so
I disagree.
In general, she has an extremely long attack range. I think longest at the start of the game. A little bit shorter than Trist's when she hits level 11, though.
Mm-hmm.
So most of her kits basically it plays around abusing her range. It's really the best
Ooh.
way to explain it.
Hey.
Abusing her range is really the best way to explain her kit, honestly. The people that she's strong against are people like Vayne or Graves, who are very short range auto attack champions that are, easy to auto attack and then back up before they can get an auto attack range with you. So it's a little bit harder to trade there. Her Q, plays into that very well. It does a large amount of damage to the first champion it hits. Traps are just a general utility thing, and then same thing with the net there. And then Ace in the Hole is best used as a fight start or fight finishing thing, and because of that, they're just a little bit different there. But I mean, overall, her kit's really, really good at poking people. So
We have to mention that Nick the King Cooper, is the best Caitlyn Yordle Snap Trap placer in the world, by the way.
Really?
I don't know how the kid does it. Like, in ranked games, he just places them in the spots where, like, the 80 carry walks into, and you're like, that doesn't even make sense. Their 80 carry
really-
just, like, flashed into it.
It's like a metagame in itself. Like, the placement of the traps is, you're thinking so far ahead into the future, so you really have to think about where you're going to put them. Like, the obvious ones are entrances to bushes and in the river and stuff like that, but if you're using them correctly, you can actually get them to work for you in fights, which is kind of crazy.
It takes a very high level of finesse. And
We should
champion
also-
mastery.
We should also mention that using Caitlyn is like one of those champions where it baits noob players into using her skills during fights, where, like, for the most part, you just want to auto get those headshots off, and then if you get engaged on, then you can, like, net Q away or something like that, because her net Q combo, like we mentioned at the beginning of the show, is so fluid. Like, you can, while you're midair with E, you can channel your Q, like, to cancel one of the 2 Q times. So, I mean, just stuff like that. Like, the only time you want to use abilities in fights, you want to use your traps whenever you can, because, I mean, they take, like, 0.1 second to set up. But you don't want to use your net unless it's, like, to get away. You don't want to use your Q unless you're, like, really, really safe. And then you don't want to use your ult until the very end of the fight or to start the fight. You usually see in competitive play, Caitlyn's ult a squishy and then hope that they hit either the AD carry or the support or the mid laner at the very beginning of the fight. Because, like, now that person has to play really, really safe before the fight actually starts. Or you want to do it at the very end of the fight to snipe someone off. But I mean,
Right.
it's better to do it at the beginning because you're going to guaranteed get damage off. Whereas if you do it at the end of the fight, you might be dead, so you're going to lose that ult damage.
I also want to point out that Caitlyn is very, very good at kiting Singed and Zac through the jungle and getting a kill on both of them. If
Bronze Jukes
you're
or
at...
Diamond Fluke.
Yeah,
dog.
dude. Go check out the Leaguecast YouTube page if you haven't seen that video. It's me!
That's from like a year ago, man.
Yeah, that's a pretty old one.
I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
pretty old
2
now.
years.
It might be.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
in that.
pretty old. Are you
I
in
think
that too?
I think it was 2
Very
years
last
ago. 'Cause I
second,
remember somebody at
Yeah.
school coming up to me and saying, "Man, I saw your guys' video online." I was just like, "What? What?
That's
about?
Yeah, it hit Reddit
That's
and
funny.
exploded. It was great.
funny. Let's talk about build and skill order. I want Frost to talk about this.
Ooh, so skill order. She's probably like the easiest skill order champion in the game because everything's really, really obvious. So you obviously max R over everything because ults are great. Then you max your Q because that thing does 1,000,000 damage and it's really good in lane. And then you max your E because it's an escape spell. And then you max your traps because who really cares?
Really?
You just want 1 point in there. But during like actually leveling like the first 6 skills, you go Q, then your net, and then your trap, and then your Q,
Oh,
and then your Q.
I start
And then
trap.
Why do you start trap?
Yeah, so there's actually some debate here. I don't know if that's exactly right.
For maxing, it's obvious.
Yes, maxing I agree
maxing,
with.
yes.
But
I
start
actually
trap
max
every time.
trap second
You're
because
stupid though.
yeah,
Why?
but he goes on a shorter cooldown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
trap does more damage.
Who
Which is-
cares?
No.
Who cares?
Shut up,
Dude,
man.
dude,
God.
all right, listen,
Get
listen.
out of here,
How
nerd.
many times during a fight are you going to want to use net twice?
How many times during a
Never.
fight are you going to get 2 traps off?
How many times
It's
during a
not
fight
about
are you
the
going to
cooldown,
get
it's about the
one
damage.
trap off?
It's
Oh my
about the
God.
damage, all right? That's
If you
what
can
it's
get
all
2 nets
about.
off in a fight, then you're
Hey,
golden.
let me-
You're gonna escape 2 engages.
Let me just look at the damage scaling on this handy dandy wiki page I have in front of
Yeah,
me for
sure, go for
Yordle Snap Trap. It scales 60% with ability power. That's 60% of 0 is help me, Matt. Matt, you're a
0.
math major. All right, thank you. All right, that's 0 bonus damage on your trap. Rank 180. Then 130, then 180, then 230, then 280. Guess what is greater than all of those damage scales, all of them at every single level
You
that's
would
appropriate?
not take 280
Your-
damage in a fight.
Your auto attack.
280
Your
damage
auto
for
attack.
free.
And you know what's based? You know what your auto attack it relies on? You being within range to make them happen. And you know what helps you
Hey,
stay in range?
You know what? I can't tell you guys
During
that
a
you're
long
bad,
fight
you
or a
just have to
chase?
trust me.
No. You got to see this out to the end, man. You're fucking committed with me, right? Come on.
Okay.
Come on, stay with me. You know what helps you get within range repeatedly, especially when you're doing a long-term chase over walls and
It
stuff
depends.
like
If you're Wild Turtle, Flash.
that? But
That's all I'm saying.
Think about the net. That was the answer.
Oh!
If you net into any fight, you should be reported.
See?
I've done it
If
before.
you net into
It
any
was
fight,
not
should be-
intentional.
but what if you're chasing somebody and the fight's over and you're at like
All right.
80% health and they're one shot?
Chris, tell me something.
Yes, I'll tell you all the
If-
things, man.
If I put 2 points into my net instead of
Okay.
1,
Yeah.
what is the mana difference?
Oh, it's the same.
Okay, what if there's 5 points? Is it the same?
It's the same.
Okay, so the mana
Good
doesn't
point, man.
change.
That doesn't
So
matter.
my point is that you keep it at 1 point, so you don't have to use as much
But
mana.
the slow is longer.
So
It's a
see,
big
like
deal.
the thing is, net is pure utility in my mind. You're never
And the
gonna use
trap
it.
isn't.
I
They have
don't-
the
I
same
don't
damage
think so.
scaling, Matt.
Look,
They have
The
the
trap
same
is
damage
worse than
scaling.
utility. It's
They have the
hard to
exact same
use on
damage.
purpose.
They have the same
But
damage
see, the
scaling,
thing is, like,
except
okay.
that the AP scaling on net is 20% better.
All right, let's
Only
think about this.
time
Let's
I
think
can
about
get a
this.
trap off willingly on somebody in lane is when they've already been stunned by Braum.
That's what I'm talking
Hold on,
about.
Matt. Listen, hear me out.
Done.
Matt, okay, we're gonna
280
Matt, we're gonna do a 1v1 after this podcast, and we're gonna
Alright.
play Caitlyn, and you're
Alright.
only allowed to use traps, and I'm only allowed to use nets.
This is going to be the worst 1v1 in the history of the world.
No, you can auto attack, but I mean, like, you're never gonna hit your traps. You know what I mean? Whereas I'm gonna hit my nets because, like, it's actually
Okay.
a useful skill
In a 1v1, you're going to hit your net? How useful
Yeah.
is that?
compared to you not hitting your trap. Very useful.
Okay.
Unless I
whatever.
somehow net into your trap, that would be the only time I'm gonna get hit by it.
With 200 health, and then you die because it does 280 damage at rank 5.
Okay, you're wrong. But anyways, moving on.
So build.
Yeah, so pretty well standard AD carry build. Would you agree, Henderson? Like you go
Yeah.
your Doran's Blade start into Infinity Edge. You can have your choice on attack speed item. I think Phantom Dancer is better on her, but you can also go Shiv. Like Shiv with headshot is crazy damage on burst. Then you obviously either you have the choice of if they have a ton of armor, you go into what do you want to call it? Last Whisper, and if not, then you can go into your second damage item, which would be Bloodthirster. Thanks. I wish. Never mind. We're not screaming this. Damn it. Never mind. I might have got a rude Snapchat from Chris about Matt's
It's
Caitlyn
not
play.
rude. It's observational.
Yeah.
It's rude.
But yeah, it's
pretty
pretty well
rude.
standard AD carry build. Like you want by the end of the game, you want Infinity Edge your attack speed item, whether it be Static Shiv or Phantom Dancer, Bloodthirster, Last Whisper, Boots, and then a defensive item. I usually like going the cleanse item, Mercurial Scimitar, but a lot of people like going something like GA or Banshees.
Or Banshees, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about strengths and weaknesses? This can be a group discussion. Let's talk about strengths first.
I can talk about strengths. So
Go for it.
Used to do this thing with, I think it was Rick, actually. Or somebody, anybody. Play Caitlyn with Lulu and just push the entire time. You end up with your enemies under turret, not able to farm a lot. You have crazy poke. I think that she's really, really good with those kind of supports, like poke supports, sustaining supports. Janna's pretty good. Sona's okay. Those kind of things. Karma, she's actually pretty good with Karma. Zyra, yeah, those kind of supports are actually a lot of fun. You can poke your opponents out of lane, but that's her main strength. Her ping ability, her range, the fact that in late game team fights, you really can do all of your damage without being in trouble. You could just sit in the back and just AFK auto attack, and it's pretty great. She also gets the headshot passive in the early game. If you use that effectively, you can bully your opponent out of lane too. But yeah, that's pretty much her strengths, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. Weaknesses?
I think we can agree. What does she do worse than other AD carries? That's what we should be looking at. Like, she doesn't have any burst damage.
Kites?
She doesn't have a lot of burst damage.
I mean, she can, but...
She also has very little defensive presence at all. I mean, your net is your only thing. If you get jumped on,
it can be interrupted.
Yeah, and it can be interrupted. If you get jumped on, you're pretty much dead. But that's similar to a lot of AD carries. She doesn't have a dash. So, like Graves or Ezreal or Corki, you're not like... I mean, those can all be interrupted too, so that's not really... I don't know.
But it's compensated for her attack range. Like, her attack range is the reason why she doesn't have many, like, defensive or, like, very... Like, I wouldn't even call her net that much of a self-heal. You have to be really proactive on using it. Whereas, like, if you look at Ezreal's dash, like, Ezreal's auto-attack is ass, but, like, his dash, probably the best AD carry dash in the game. Like, it's a blink that can be... Like, you can get out a blitz hook with it. Like, I mean...
Yeah,
that's crazy. But, like, then again,
you can't
he has really low
interrupt
range.
any of Ezreal's skills, which is a complete load of bullshit.
Sorry.
Yeah, but then again, he has really low range auto attacks, and all of his skills are skill shots. You know what I mean? So like he has ways to compensate for his kit. But yeah, I mean, Caitlyn is just a very, very, very safe, innately safe champion. Like having long range at early levels is just good for laning. Like her laning phase is really strong. I think her mid game and late game are a lot weaker than other champions. I mean, like if you compare her to an Ashe late game or a Jinx late game or a Tristana late game, she's going to be nowhere near them. But like then again, she'll stomp all those champions in lane.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I think another thing is that she doesn't 1v1 well, or she doesn't scrap fight very well. She's a very good team fighter, but if you get into skirmishes, you're probably not going to do very well. And it's mostly just because, well, you don't have an effective ultimate like Ezreal or Jinx. They can at least fire their ult and then hope it does damage. With you can't. If you stop to do your ult in the middle of a team fight, you're pretty much dead. But also just the fact that she doesn't have any self-peel and she just doesn't do a whole lot of burst damage. She really doesn't have any burst. It's just sustained team fight damage. So if you're in a scrap fight with Graves and Braum or something, or the jungler comes down and it's a 3v3, you may lose that just because you simply don't have enough damage up front. So
Yeah, your role is really just sitting at the back and just auto attacking over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Overall, I think she's a good AD carry to learn for new players. That's the main thing, I think.
Right. I feel like that was also a good wrap up. That was a good
Can we finish on
summary.
what's the best Caitlyn skin? Because that's the
Resistance
best way
Caitlyn.
to.
Pink
You're
chroma.
wrong.
Resistance.
Oh, we have to get an answer by Henderson. Pink chroma is pretty sick. I'm gonna go with Arctic Warfare because I mean that's from my homeland. So I mean,
What?
I'm into girls in parkas, dude. I mean, if she had like she was running
You
polar
guys-
bear or something.
You guys obviously have never played with Safari, Caitlyn.
No.
Ooh.
No.
Best skin.
Dude, you're so Safari off with that one.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
It's the only skin that I own for Caitlyn, and I bought it because I thought it was
Oh.
Sheriff Caitlyn. So
Great.
I still
Okay.
like it though.
Let's keep going. It's roundtable time, everybody.
Whee!
Matt, you want to do the intro?
Yeah, dude, let's do it together.
Oh my! No, it's because it's just random fucking garbage until you actually say what we're
I
doing.
know, but the whole point is that you have to go back and forth with Chris and try to make it something that's similar in some way.
We're starting
to a
whatever.
shape.
Hey Matt.
What?
Hey, what sort of table? What sort of table do you think would look good in like the generic, basic, average dining room?
All right, so you have your oval tables, all right?
Right.
So the oval table is great because it seats more people than a square table, but it
Hold
also...
on. Important question.
Okay.
How are oval tables related to Ovaltine?
That's a good question.
Nothing?
I don't know. Is this a trick question? How many people can sit around an Ovaltine table, Henderson?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, well, fuck, we're not table experts. We're just asking
my-
specific questions about,
All right,
you know,
so look,
certain
the thing
tables.
is, if your table is not a Hendekagen, you're doing it wrong.
All right, round table, we're here.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's how
so,
it's done, Frost. That's how it's fucking done.
That was embarrassing.
You're not
Look,
wrong.
it gave me time to do
we didn't
stuff,
say
though.
it was good. We just said we did it every time.
It was never good, never once.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
So stuff happened. My last week's question. Yeah.
Last
week's
week?
question was about it's time for you to be a Time Lord. So you make your prediction, we all rate it, and then after Worlds, we're gonna come back to the prediction, see which ones are right, see who has the most points as voted on by us, and then we will award the winner a super cool RP card. So I mean, we
Yep.
got a fair bit of responses. I'm kind of happy with them. The first one's actually from Matt, so I mean, it's kind of cool to have him here, but it's kind of weird. 'Cause,
Yeah,
we're supposed to
I
have
was-
Nick to vote on these, but Matt will fill in for Nick's votes this week, and he's not going to vote on his own, so he's also only going to get 30 points total.
Cool.
Just like
Perfect.
last week. So Matt's Matt, you just want to go over yours? Like, might as
Yeah.
well if you're here.
So this one is my fake one. I have a real one as well.
Oh, okay, I'll
Um,
delete this one.
So this is the fake one. Coast brings their A game and destroys the Challenger Series so well that Rito makes an exception and allows them to go to group stages of Worlds. Then they upset everyone and hold the only perfect record coming out of group stages, defeating SKT and Fnatic in a very decisive manner. Then they make it all the way to the World Finals, where they fall to the Oceanic underdogs, Team Immunity. That's a real team. I did research. In a heartbreaking 2-3 loss for all of NA. So sad.
Did they won the first two and then they lost 3 in a row? The
Yes.
reverse sweep. Oh
The
man.
reverse sweep. And everyone is very, very sad. But it's the first Oceanic victory, and Team Immunity takes home the crown, so it's kind of a victory for them.
Coast to the coast of North America.
Immunity, the coast of Oceanic. Up in the World Finals, baby. No, but I really enjoyed. I actually listened to last week's episode, which kind of got me. I wanted to do something for this episode, right? So I wrote up a little thing, and then I was like, oh, hey, look, they're
And
recording.
then he assassinated Nick Cooper and is sitting in for him.
Yeah, and then I was like, Nick, yeah, just sleep in, dude. I'll take over. But yeah, I think I'll come up with one, and then I'll say it at the end.
Okay.
So Frost, read
Can't
the
you
other
just-
responses.
Okay, yeah. So we have one from Blake. He said that he believes Draven will win a Worlds Games match. So like Draven will be played at Worlds and he will win a game. So those are two different things. I mean, like they both have to be true. Will Draven win a Worlds match? That is, I honestly don't think Draven will be picked, but I mean,
I think that's what he's banking on for points, is that
Yeah.
we think that Draven won't be picked. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a 6.
I was gonna give it a 6 also.
6.
I'll go with 8 because
You
why not?
motherfucker.
Yeah.
I don't think Draven's going to be picked.
What's that? 26 points? Yeah.
Yep.
I think that one is really plausible though. That one actually has a really
Yeah,
good chance
in
of-
comparison to how I thought these were gonna go, that one's pretty down to earth.
All right, are we talking Worlds like all of group stages, all of the tournament,
Yep,
or
everything.
just the tournament?
Anything we consider worlds, yeah.
I'm revising my vote to 7.
Thank you,
Because
Matt,
it
for
is
making me
5.
change my Excel document.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think that one actually hopefully might be a winner. Then we have one from Josh on Facebook. He said that his prediction is that Team Chiefs, is that Chiefs? Yeah, Chiefs from the Oceanic region will win the OPL wild card. So like there's going to be a wild card tournament to determine who gets the wild card spot to enter Worlds. So he's saying that they will win Oceanic, then win the wild card tournament. They're currently first in Oceanic by they're 14-0 by the way, just to let you guys know. So they'll win that, then they'll win the wild card tournament, and then they will go to Worlds and win one game at Worlds, at least one game at Worlds. So I mean, like
Yep.
Oceania has never had a showing at Worlds. I mean, they're kind of a very slow behind the times region, but that team probably will win OPL. And then will they win the wild card? And then will they get to Worlds? And then will they win one game at Worlds? That's a lot to bank on, though.
That sounds like an 8 to me.
I'm gonna go with 9.
I
Yeah,
gotta
I'm
give
gonna-
that one a perfect 10.
I'm gonna give it an 8. Chris 8, Henderson 9,
25.
myself 8, and Matt 10.
Wait, no, that's not 25.
What is that?
28?
Wait, what? I wasn't listening.
35.
I was gonna say I gave it a 10, so it's at least 30, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so that one might work. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna get past even like the wild card thing though. That might be a challenge. I think Brazil is a better
should
region.
Never be
We'll
allowed
see.
to do math out loud.
Yes. Then we have one from Joshua on Facebook. He said, "Okay, so you guys we have to clarify this with him. Hopefully, I'll message him on.
You're gonna have to get another one from him.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just gonna clarify it on Facebook with him. So his prediction is that the LCS finals will not include a Korean team. So I'm wondering, does he mean the LCS, meaning the League Championship Series, NA or EU, will not have a Korean team, meaning a team with a Korean player? I'm assuming. Or do they mean? Did he actually mean Worlds?
I
Like,
think
we
he
have been
means
talking-
he has to mean Worlds Finals.
I think he means Worlds. I'll clarify it with him on Facebook, but
Let's just assume, because I'm 99% sure that that's the case.
yeah. I'm
Okay,
pretty sure
yeah,
it's Worlds.
because when I first read this, I thought he meant Worlds like in general, and I was like, that's not gonna happen, obviously, because
I think he
they
means
automatically
the final.
advance.
Yeah, I think he means the final final match. The last two teams, one of them will not be Korean.
Well, he said that's neither will not
Yeah,
include a
neither
Korean
will
team.
be Korean. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
So no teams from the Korean region from LCK will get the grand finals of Worlds.
That being said, 10.
Yeah, I'm writing down 10 for us all, if that's okay.
Yeah, I'm writing down. Yeah,
Yeah.
10 for sure. Mm-hmm.
My math tells me that's a 40.
So Josh, here's the
Yeah.
deal: if you win, I mean, if your prediction comes true, you win. That's a perfect score.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
it doesn't, which it won't, I'm sorry.
I think there was only one season 1, where a Korean team was not in the World Finals.
Because there was one Korean team there was one Asian team two Asian teams at the tournament, and they came like 9th and
Yeah.
10th or something.
Yeah.
I mean, they're terrible.
And it was
the-
what? Fnatic versus Epic? Or Fnatic
versus SK.
SK, yeah. That was
Yeah.
it.
It's like literally the two Asian teams. I don't even think they had a client for League of Legends. They were playing on EU server.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So I mean,
But
yeah,
now
so that's not gonna happen. But I believe in you, dude.
Season 2, I want to go through it to make sure I remember. Season 2 was Azubu Frost, I think, was in the World
Versus
Finals.
TPA.
Yeah, and then Season 3 was SKT. Season 4 was who won Season 4? That was last year, right? It was Samsung?
Yep, Samsung White.
Yeah, so there you go.
Or
It's
Blue, I
always
mean.
been-
Shit.
Always been Koreans.
So anyways, Advent said that he said Advent here. My prediction is that Aushin champion teaser will be shown before the World Finals.
10.
10.
Hold, and he still
I
goes
know,
crazier. By
I
the way,
know, I know.
I thought that would be fine there. Like, I actually might even give him the benefit of the doubt and just hope that that will be his answer. And then he said, "And released after Fnatic loses to SKT1 in the finals." How about we just shorten it out to the Aushin
15?
thing? Because I think that actually gives him a chance of actually doing this, and I think we still all might vote 10.
I think it was Riot confirmed that Aushin was scrapped.
No, they said that they released anything about him like years too early. Because they want to do a full lore event about it, so they literally had almost nothing prepared for him.
And he's
And
not
they
a
changed his
pirate,
kit.
so that doesn't seem like it's going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, but it could happen before Worlds.
I
Champion
don't think
teaser.
so.
All he says
Champion-
is champion teaser.
Yeah, like I'm gonna give it honestly a 9. I think that's more likely than I think a 9's fine.
I'm going to stick with my guns and give it a 10.
So yeah, in Advent we
I'll
changed
give
your
it-
answer.
I'll give
Sorry,
it.
I'm saying a 10.
Yeah, I'll give it a 10. It's pretty much not going to happen.
Yeah, so we just changed your answer slightly to the Aushin part. So his prediction is that Aushin champion teaser will be shown before the World Finals. I think that's a very good one. So that's a total score of 39. Watch me. I'm going to take pride in that if it's actually shown because I didn't give him a 10.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and then Matt, what was yours?
Oh yeah, I didn't read this. So my prediction then is that there will be a pentakill in the World Finals series. So in the actual Grand Finals, those 5 games, there will be a pentakill. However, it's going to be a top laner or a jungler or a support that gets the pentakill, not one of the carries.
Huh.
I'll give that a 7.
I'm going to give that a 9. Like, that's crazy.
7?
Yep.
That's
7.
crazy.
A
It was an 80
top
carry,
laner,
yeah.
jungler, or support getting a pentakill in the World Finals?
Yes.
Okay. Fine.
This is some talented motherfuckers. They can make it happen if anybody can make it happen.
I'm giving
I
you
mean,
a 9, dude.
It might be a top laner. I could see a top laner doing it. Maybe a jungler. Support pentakills almost never happen. So, I don't know. I don't see it happening.
Henderson?
I think he said 7.
I said 7 already.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I
7.
couldn't hear
He
you.
said 7
Chris.
already.
Yeah,
was
I
a
said it
echo.
like 3 times.
It was I went 7 and he goes 7.
So that's your score of 23, Matt. So your win condition is everyone else loses because the only person who has a lower score than you is Henderson right now, and his was an NA or EU team will be in the finals.
Wow.
So
I don't even remember what you guys picked, but they were pretty crazy.
Yeah,
They were a little ridiculous. Yeah.
crazy stuff.
I didn't say NA or EU. I said not Asian.
I think you actually did say that.
Which also counts Brazilian teams and Oceanic teams and Australian teams because they're special, not Oceanic, obviously.
Does that change anything though?
No.
Not really.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that was Yeah, that was last
that
week.
was last week's. What about
Oh my
this week?
This week the question is, what type of lore event would you like to see, and who should it focus around, or what faction should it focus around? Chris.
I'm gonna steal Matt Hillman's Ionia.
So you just want an Ionia event, just purely an Ionia event?
Yes, Matt Hillman. That's what you get when you let your heart win.
Matt, you can say the same thing but make it better. I mean,
Yeah, dude, say it better. He
my-
just wants a Syndra event.
My lore event is they re-release Syndra and they tell her lore correctly. No. I don't know. I think they've done pretty good lore events, honestly. I mean, I've never thought that it impacted the game very much, but the lore was pretty cool.
I think
And
they dropped the
so-
ball with Oriana, though.
good one.
Shut the fuck up, Chris.
Can we kick him off his own podcast?
I don't think we can.
I'm not
sadly.
even on this podcast,
Just
and I want
ignore
you to
me.
fuck out.
Just ignore me.
I do want a Noxus versus Ionia thing because they did that already and it was so early on that nobody remembers and it didn't really have an effect, and I think they should bring that back because it's baller and they could do an epic one now. I mean, think about the different events that they've had. It usually happens during World Season or during the All-Stars or whatever. Those kind of things, those kind of events are really exciting to me. So if they did another Noxus versus Ionia or just kind of an Ionia thing on its own, I think that would be pretty cool. But that might only be because I did a fuckload of research on Ionia back when we were writing that script thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I like the lore of Ionia. I think it's really cool. I think They could do more with Soraka in the Celestial Grove. No.
Yes.
Some sort of grove. I don't think it's Celestial Grove, but it's something like that. They could definitely expand on that because there's supposedly multiple different like not champions because they're just lore characters, but other people that are like there. So there's a lot more that they could expand about the old lore. I don't know if that's still relevant or if they're just going to make up new stuff. It seems like they're making up new stuff, which I kind of like, which is fine, whatever. But yeah, I think they should go back to Ionia and retell that story because not a lot of people know it, and it's one of the best. So
Yes.
It's a really good one. Henderson.
I wouldn't mind seeing more about Yordle City, honestly. As dumb and silly as it'd probably be, or Bandle City.
Bandle City? I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus, that has a name, sweetie.
yeah.
Yeah, and as
Yordle
as
City.
Yordle
dumb
Town.
as it would probably be, I mean, it'd be at least a little interesting. Something we haven't really heard, honestly, anything about yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Frost?
I had the exact name of what I wanted to talk about, but now I don't know what it's called. So, yeah, I'll just talk about what it is. I want a real Void event. I want something like an actual Malzahar versus Kassadin with all the other Void creatures involved in their own ways. I think a Void event would be absolutely awesome. I mean, like, we don't know much about the Void. We know it's just like a thing that contains darkness and is bad. But like, I want the whole Kassadin's daughter storyline and stuff like that to actually be fleshed out.
Yeah, I do
Like-
too. That'd be great.
Like, and then maybe they can rework Kassadin to be a normal champion without a shit alt, and then we can maybe make Malzahar not to be a baby champion played by new players.
Ooh.
Spoiler, actually, Vel'Koz is Kassadin's daughter. Just, you know, she's been in the Void for a while.
For a
Fucks
while.
you up.
She's been
She's just
cooking.
yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, I mean, the Void changes people, man. Once you come back, it's like totally new world, man. Now I got
No.
these fucking tentacles.
But like, honestly, if you look at all the Void creatures, like you have Malzahar and Kassadin, which are kind of like the humanoid type Void, like they just are embrace the darkness sort of thing. Well, I guess Kassadin's kind of fighting it, but then
Because
you have
they
like
were the earlier Void champions.
You merely adapted them.
yeah, we couldn't
I
make
was
other
born
creatures
in it.
back in that time. No, but then you
Yeah,
have
we
stuff
didn't
like
have the
Vel'Koz,
technology.
Rek'Sai, Kog'Maw, Kha'Zix, Cho'Gath. I love all those champions, and I think a Void event would be really cool lore-wise. Fuck Skarner.
No, dude, just
Skarner?
throw Skarner in there. We need to rewrite the lore so he's
Oh.
relevant.
Oh my god,
Dude.
that'd be awesome.
He like cloaks himself in what I thought was ice, but it's like crystals. Why not just make it ice? You know, you change Trundle to make him like icy. Boom, done. It's fucking.
He's a bug. Because he's a bug.
He's a bug, but ice. So
He's
there
a
you
bug
go.
with
Welcome to the
just
Freljord, Skarner.
the most well-cut chin I've ever seen in my life. You know, just
He's a fucking bug.
You're
Yeah.
right. You're not wrong.
But the Void, yeah, cool. That or
Yeah,
Helmet
sure.
Bro storyline. But I
Thanks.
mean, yeah. So you can sauce us your answers on where, Chris?
Oh, you can send us your email answers to mail@leadcastpodcast.com, or we have a couple of other venues, one of which is our Facebook. So you can, first of all, like us on Facebook. Why not? You're already there. And then look for the post of the question and an answer and a reply, and then that's where we pull our replies from. And then same sort of deal over on the other venue, which is Twitter. Also, while you're there, like when you liked us on Facebook. Why not follow us on Twitter for updates and stuff about Leadcast-related things? Then look for the tweet. We'll tweet out the question as soon as this episode goes live, and you can reply to that tweet as well, and we pull stuff from there. So those are the three ways. Get to it.
Or you can email Aiden at frost at circular, not so round, but kind of square-ish table.org/leadcast.com.
And that babbledygook leads us right into Mail Fight. Thanks so much.
Aren't you glad I'm here?
I'm actually extremely glad that you're here.
Aww, the feels.
Mail Fight. I'm doing Mail Fight this week since Nick Cooper is hibernating. First one is from Blake. He says, first, Frost, I commend you on picking up Fizz, the cancer Pokemon, and I fully support you, Happy Face. Ooh, yikes. What are you
You're
gonna
all
tell
terrible
him now?
people.
What are you gonna tell him now?
Matt, if you didn't know, like we started the show with me saying that I stopped maining to start
really?
maining Vayne. So I mean, it's just funny.
Okay.
Wow.
Secondly, Fizz recently got a skin on the PPE called Cottontail Fizz, and this monstrosity swats old Lollipoppy off of her pedestal. What do you guys think of it? And now I see Henderson
Somebody
reacting
obviously
already.
hasn't seen the old Lollipoppy splash art.
Yeah. We're like lolly sloppy.
They fixed it.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and look at her current splash art. No, that's the fixed splash art for Lollipoppy.
Yeah, it used to be way
However,
worse.
Cottontail Fizz is still a giant flaming monstrosity of doom and terror.
Right. No, you're not wrong.
We now have two components of a horrifying team.
He's got a pitchfork like trident with carrots on the end. Hilarious! Come on.
I think
I
it's
honestly-
actually technically a Bident.
I'm not really sure if it's scary or just creepy.
But have you seen his ult? Like, I mean, that's the only way that they could have topped Fizz, Earth Fizz, like having an Earth as your ult, is having a giant bunny rabbit pop out of the ground and eat people. And I mean, they did it. So congrats, Riot. You
Good job.
just earned
Snaps for
earned
Riot.
10 more
Snaps.
dollars from me.
Snaps. Good job. Thanks for the email, Blake. Moving on to Sigurd. Hi, I've been listening for a good while now. Keep up the good work. My take on the Dream 80 carry kit. I was excited for this.
Oh my
shit.
god! Wait, can
Yeah.
I?
No, because we'll be
No.
here for an hour and a fucking half,
okay.
Matt
All
Hillman.
right.
All right.
Well,
So he
okay.
says,
Let me just say the only thing is that you guys forgot about Caitlyn's passive, and that's what I wanted. I wanted
No.
Caitlyn's passive with Draven Q.
no,
No,
Because
we
imagine.
we had Tristana passive.
Well,
so we
I'm,
had increased range.
in
it's
this
fine.
email, he recaps because he compares. So you ended up with passive Tristana, Q, Draven, W, Cog, E, Callista, R, Twitch. Yes, that's what we did. You have the sickest range in AoE with R and Rend, but Draven Q doesn't synergize at all, which I don't I kind of disagree with that. While the rest of the kit makes attack speed good, the Q makes damage good. The late game Q will 3-shot squishies anyway, so E is useless in synergy with it. Behold my ideal AD carry, sacrificing some range for more consistent DPS. P, Tristana range, which is the passive. So the same thing. Q, Jinx instead of Draven, which is one of the arguments we were playing around with last week. Consistent minigun attack speed steroid with Tristana's late game range. That's good. Those synergize well. Good job. W, Silver Bolts, which is what I originally said last week. Scales with attack speed and is great from a safe range. E is Quick Draw. Huge range, extreme attack speed, and Silver Bolts works well as escape as well. True. Fair enough. R, same with Twitch, but the reason he gives is extreme attack speed with huge range, also applying on-hit effects like Silver Bolts and Jinx Q. Think of the AoE 5-man Silver Bolt stacking, and remember when Tiamat stacking could be built on Twitch for the double stacking AoE damage with his ult? This is what Jinx Q will do now. Every hit will apply Silver Bolts, and every hit will splash nearby targets, and nearby targets will splash back on the next hit. That's cool.
He's not wrong.
Unbeatable DPS, so I need to get a life. But anyways, regards from Norway, and please ignore spelling mistakes. I thought that was a wonderfully well-crafted email. Thank you very
Please
much.
respond, smiley face.
Oh boy, Henderson, open
Who
up.
cares about your DPS if you can't find me while I'm murdering you?
That's true. That's fair. Jason emailed us, and this is the last email for this week. Which program have you guys had success with for League of Legends game recording? I've only heard of LoL Replay. Are there better or more user-friendly options? I'd like to get some games recorded, but not sure where to start.
Didn't we talk about this last week? I'm like 99% sure we did.
Yeah, you guys did.
We did, but we also had LoL Replay and also LSI.
And
so,
the email service, what is
I
it called?
use
I'll look it up here.
OBS. Like, if I'm recording
Wow.
a League game, I just use OBS. Now, it doesn't give you that full, overview, but it watches you. You know what I mean?
which is the part you're interested in completely, but
Yeah, most
Yeah.
of the time, yeah. But it's the only one that I can use that I can guarantee isn't going to completely and totally fuck up my client some random update, because it has nothing to do with it, because it just records the screen output.
for clarity's sake, LSI stands for League Summoner Insight, and then OBS stands for Open Broadcast Software. It's what a lot of people use for streaming alternatives for open source streaming. Yeah. Anything else about this? Because we did talk about this last week, so I would point you to that episode last week, but we pretty much also just recapped that stuff just now. I can't think of really anything else to suggest that pops into my mind. Can you guys?
Heard
The only
why
one
don't
was,
you
like-
use the in-game client? You know, it records the games for you. Heard it.
That's my prediction. It's gonna happen after Worlds. But anyways, yeah, use replay.gg. It emails you all your files after your game. So
Perfect. There you go. That's awesome. Great. And with that, we're going to end this monster of a freaking show. This episode has been going on for a really, really, really long time. If you were into it like we were today, like way, way into it, I suggest you also listen to either previous episodes of Leakcast, future episodes of Leakcast when we do LCS Breakdown, patch notes, or our other shows, such as Casual Cast or The Heart, that also includes the pre-brawl and stuff like that. There are so many things for you to listen to tantalize your eardrums. And you know where you can find all those things on our website at warfinch.com. That's warfinch.com. And if you'd like to help support Warfinch or the Hearth specifically, there are links to that sort of stuff all over the place, but I'll rehash them for you real quick right here. You can support us on our Patreon page for Warfinch at patreon.com/Warfinch to get some pretty neat stuff. Or if you want to support the Hearth, that's another show. Go listen to that show first, see if you like it, and you'll hear me do this plug at the end of that one. I don't want to bog you down here. But here are a couple of ways for you to get involved with the show and also interact with us. You can follow us on Twitter at Leakcast. You can like us on Facebook. Just search for Leakcast on Facebook. You'll find us, no problemo. It's pretty obvious who we are. If you'd like to talk to us specifically, voice over IP style, you can join our public TeamSpeak server. Just go download the TeamSpeak client, TeamSpeak 3 client from their website by Googling TeamSpeak, one word, downloading it, and then joining the server with the server address ts.leakcastpodcast.com. And there's no password because, again, it is public and open for you guys to enjoy and hop in here and play some games with us. We'd love to get to know you, get to play some games with you. We also play a bunch of other stuff, and sometimes we just hang out and shoot the shit with each other. Don't feel pressure to play League of Legends. Don't feel pressure to play any games. You don't have to. Just come in and hang out and have a good time. Other than that, I believe that's the end of this show. And with that, we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Check out the Hearth.
oh, bye.